by Sedonia Sipes, who is with SIU. She is an associate professor and director of undergraduate studies in biodiversity and conservation biology. Did I get that all right? Just looking here at the website.
School of Biological Sciences. We've had some academic rearrangements.
Oh,
So
okay.
I actually am a botanist and an entomologist. I study plant-insect interactions.
Excellent. All right. Thank you for that. And just to get into the weeds today of the recent news that we've got, the spotted lanternfly showing up in
Yeah.
Illinois. This is a new thing, right? Has this ever been here before and had to been gotten rid of, or is this brand new territory?
No, the species is a relatively new invader. It's been in the U.S. about 9 years. It's native to Asia, and it invaded the northeastern United States, and it's kind of been spreading southward and westward ever since. And so it's actually not here in southern Illinois yet, but it has been found in the northern part of the state.
Okay. All right. And the it's a very distinct looking bug, just to look at it with the reds and all of that. And so for folks that getting a look at that, and I don't have that right now today, but it's something that definitely recognizable. And is the recommendation right now just to kill it, as opposed to like trapping or anything like that?
Well, I think that there's a couple of things that are recommended. One of them is to keep an eye out for it and report it to state extension offices or the IDNR if it's seen. If you can snap a photo, that would be great. So just documenting it is probably a good idea. There are some native insects that it might be confused with to someone who doesn't know a lot about insects. It kind of looks a little like some of our moths and maybe some other kinds of insects, which is why photographing and documenting it might be a good idea. It is also something that has a distinctive egg mass. It looks sort of like a smear of mud on the side of a tree trunk or a structure or firewood pile maybe, or some of the kinds of places they lay their eggs. Destroying the egg clusters is recommended. And the other thing about this invasive insect is that it feeds on a lot of different kinds of plants, and that includes a whole array of fruit trees, hardwood trees that are like native trees in our forests, and ornamental trees. But it has a preferred food source, and happens to be an invasive plant called tree of heaven. Tree of heaven causes a whole slew of ecological problems on its own, but now it's helping this invasive insect get a foothold. So one of the things that would be good to do is check your property for tree of heaven, learn what it looks like, help your neighbors, keep a lookout for it. It's a tree that grows very fast. I pull them up in my yard all the time. They can really quickly get out of control. They're hard to kill, and they can pop up really quickly in alleys or yards or vacant lots or any place where vegetation isn't really being monitored or kept. And they sort of work together for an extra bad effect, I guess you could say.
That does help us to give an idea of where you might be seeing them, and so it's interesting as well that there's that kind of creeping in of a different different parts of a different ecosystem creeping in and causing them more disruption. Is there anything else? You mentioned there as well some of the damage that they do. Anything else that folks need to know about what it's doing while it's here, or any other information about the lanternfly that'd be good to know?
Right. Well, they feed on woody plants, and basically they have these sharp mouth parts that they stick into the plant. They tap into its vascular system, and they feed on sap. And so it saps the plant of energy. It's stealing the sugars that it makes during photosynthesis, which reduces the ability of the plant to grow and flourish. If it's a crop plant, a fruit plant, it's going to impact yield. And so in that way, it's bad. It can harm plants that are food sources for us, and native plants in natural areas like national forests and places like that. So one thing I would caution against, if someone thinks they've seen it or knows that they've seen it, I think we need to be careful about just reacting with like broadcasting pesticides all over the place, because oftentimes that can do a lot more harm than good. We don't want to wipe out all of our native insects, which include pollinators and food sources for birds and other wildlife, in an attempt to just kill one invader. So I think that we need to maybe focus on the egg mass destruction, focus on tree of heaven control, and then be more cautious about any kinds of traps or insecticides until we hear what's actually recommended and has a track record of being effective.
All right. Great stuff. I think that pretty much wraps us up for today as far as that goes. Anything else to mention before we wrap up?
I don't think so. I think I covered everything.
Excellent. Sedonia Sipes with SIU, entomologist and botanist, correct? Both of
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. There we go. We got the both of them down now. Sedonia, thank you so much for your time today. I appreciate it.
Thanks a lot.
All right, to your audience as well. Thank you all for listening and watching today. Appreciate your time.